Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Dishonored 2 very hard ghost walkthrough. This is mission 8, it is the Grand Palace, and this is one of the best missions in the game because it has just such a great dynamic feel to it, and all the levels have this when you find that sweet spot of platforming and traversal, but this is a level where it felt immediately apparent to me. So it will stand out as just being an utter joy to play, because everything worked, every idea bore fruit, and it was just a real pleasure to navigate, which to me, that is level design at its finest, when, you know, there's enough of mystery there that it requires skill, but each theory and each attempt unveils something better and better and better until you get just this wonderful performance. And at the beginning here, we're going to be moving up onto this central tree. There's a spotlight in the centre of this courtyard, this plaza, and I could have ran now and blinked into that bedroom, and I could have saved you some time here, so do that instead of waiting. But it's a good idea to understand how these particular watchtowers work. They will strafe their light over a certain area, and if you're in it, it turns red and you get nuked. You don't want it to turn red, so don't stand in it. It's literally that simple. And do you see that there is a vein of glowing orange that's leading up onto that roof? Whenever you see that, it generally correlates as being important. This particular instance, that is the power supply that's going to help us get past the wall of light that will lead to the next area of the level. So if you hop onto this, you can then blink upwards towards the windmill, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be turning off that piece of apparatus, and up here is two people talking, but if you sit where I sit just then, you will not get seen, and all you need to do now is blink up to the top of the structure and power down the wall. Once the wall is powered down, you have a clear-cut path to blink your way down to the door and get to the next sequence. I'm going to be blinking on top of this tower. Never ever save on these towers. The game will never put you where you want to be, and it leads to bad things. Additionally, do not step on the railways, because they always have electrified power. There's only one instance of the railway not electrocuting you, and that's on the next level. But there is often a visual cue to tell you whether or not the lines are on, so that tells you whether or not you can use it as a platform. So I'm going to come over to this overhanging light, and then I'm going to be dropping down and pushing through the door. Oh, and can you remember when I said that when you interact with things in this game, it doesn't freeze the state of the world? Well, the doors do. So for some reason, interacting with an objective and doing an animation doesn't freeze the state of the world, but the moment you touch those doors that transition into a loading screen, it freezes everything. And you can tell because the audio even cuts out as well. It's one of those weird things. Whenever the game gives you a choice like that, the world suspends. And I don't know why it doesn't do it when you're doing those moments that should be cutscenes where you should be safe, and then some guard walks in on you and you're like, oh, hi there. Weird. But here we go, guys. Get onto this roof, and we're going to proceed to blink between the lamps to get onto the main structure of this very fancy palace. From here, we're going to move towards the Duke's bedroom, and there's a wonderful dynamic shift to this mission that I didn't know until I recorded this. On my first practice run, when I got to the bedroom, it was the decoy in the bedroom. And I went up to him and I said, "You're the decoy, aren't you?" Because I noticed that he was talking in a slightly different way, saying things I don't think that crazy tyrant would say. And he's like, "Yeah, so we found out the way to plan for the pacifist run." I was playing this without volume on, listening to good old Darkside Phil shout at the game because it wasn't doing what he wanted to. Apparently on PS4 the frame rate's so bad you can't even fight because you can't see what's happening and parrying's impossible. That's obviously true, right guys? And while I was doing this, I just did what I'd normally do. I came here, I talked to him, and then I picked, "You're the body double, aren't you?" And then as I was walking down the stairs with him, he had a key on his belt. And the body double doesn't have the key. And that's when I realised, like, Jesus Christ, this is the guy. So what this level does is one of the DeLucas will be in this bedroom and the other one will be in the throne room. But which one it is up to the game because it shuffles it. So the easiest thing to do is wait for him to say, "I want to be alone," hop up to the balcony, talk to him, say that he's the double, and then as he walks down the stairs, if he has a key on his belt, he's the real guy, and if he doesn't, he's the double. and then just proceed to the throne room, and vice versa. And you should be able to do this fine. And I cut the blink off then, because I hate the noise it makes when you hold it. Don't like it when you use it either, because he whispers like, zoom. It sends me funny. But here is the guy. I can hear him walking to my right, the guard. I give him some moments to come down the stairs, and then I talk to this guy. I immediately say, you're the body double. I say immediately, there it was. And look, there's a key on his belt. So grab him, choke him out, and I'm going to toss him into his bedroom.
This must be the
so glad I added his to that sentence, or that would have been weird. And then I'm going to go to the throne room and find his buddy. That was a mistake, but I don't mind. This guy's a bad person. So toss him on his... Nope, not saying that. Not saying that. Place him on the bed. There you go. And then from here, we can move out to his balcony. We can go over the roof, and we can get to where the decoy is. Because when we speak to the decoy now, he's going to tell us to bring the real one to the bedroom. Well, to the centre of that room that we were just in. So all we have to do is carry him across. See what I mean when I said that this level really flows? It's such a good one. I like it a lot. Admittedly, it's not the most challenging one because you can circumvent almost all of it with Blink. But when you do this without Blink, you're probably going to have an interesting path on your hands. And I've snuck through all the rooms. And they're pretty intense, some of them. So it should be something. But if you move over to here... Do you see the window there? That is a signifier that to the right of it is the throne room. The room that I'm looking at now is the room where either the real guy will be or the body double. So once you're inside here, never ever jump to that chandelier in front of me there. It has a trap on it that instantly kills you. And when you go, never ever blink to the middle of the throne there because there's another trap that will kill you. You want to blink to the left of the curtain and then turn off the machine just in case you accidentally get triggered by it. And if you wait here, he's going to send the guards away. So he'll mention something about men need to think on their own to deliberate decisions, and then this guard's going to walk towards this door. The moment that person walks there, blink to the left and turn off the machine. And what happens when you land is he's going to spot you, but because he's not a bad guy, he doesn't get alerted, he's just surprised. So pop out the whale oil so that doesn't cause hassle, talk to him, skip the dialogue and the cutscene and everything, and then choose you're the double, and then he'll go into the desired conversation. And then we're given a choice now, because of course we've got to go and send the real Duke to the bedroom, but after that we can go to the safe in two methods that I know of that I was going to use for this walkthrough. The first one is to use the secret passage through the kitchen. If you go into the main building and you go through the the wine rack into the cellar. And that works fine, but it involves more sneaking than what I'm about to show you. So for the purposes of a walkthrough, be careful coming up here, because sometimes a guard is with that maid, and if he sees you, it's game over, man. Game over. But if you go on the roofs, you can get towards a secret entrance via the garden, and that's the one I'm going to show you, because it involves sneaking past no enemies, and you don't have to use any secret buttons to open doorways and mess around with patrols or anything like that. So it's the easiest path, and thus that's the one I'm going to share. I did it via the cellar the first time, and it worked fine. But once you climb over here, we're going to be going through the same skylight that we used previously, or I might be going via the balcony where we entered here. Yeah, I'm doing the balcony method, because he's waiting for us on the bed, and we're going to grab him and chuck him in that other room. So once you do this, I think it triggers a cutscene where the guy does the pretend act that this guy's a lunatic and he needs to be imprisoned. And there's a really weird moment on that cutscene where he's like, "Take your hands off me!" And they give him some space, and then he just starts walking with them. It's like, why would he do that? If this guy was really about to be committed because of such a trivial plot twist, you'd think he'd fight it a bit more than he does, but video games, what can you do? So, now that we've successfully got rid of him, unlatch the dolt, that's a door bolt if you're doing shorthand, and be careful of the one guard patrolling to our right. I'm going to drop out onto this ledge next to this wooden fence, and I'm going to move all the way to the right of this ledge. Because do you see how there's these central beams that hold up the roof? There's about 3 of them. There's one to my left, there's one to my closer left, and there's one to my directly forward here. It's the one directly forward here that leads to where we need to go. So this is the middle one. That's the one you want. Did you see it just in front then? I'm going to wait for Blink to come back, go on that balcony, and we're going to go to that beam there. The thing you're looking for this to be successful is you're looking for the orange tube that powers up something. That means you're in the right place if you get lost. Be careful of the guy down there too. He has a tendency to be more alert than some of the guards, but as soon as you see that orange line, that means you're in the right area. And you want to walk on this beam just here to the left, and we're going to be dropping down to where the power supply to that particular piece of technology is. But instead of messing with it, we're just going to... That was really lucky too. I tried to drop on the ledge, I missed it, and I somehow didn't take fall damage. But break the doorway. Be careful running in here, because there are blood flies, and they will attack you if you get too close. So crouch a little bit, and then just blink into the opening. And now you have to do some swimming. So the path is left, and then right, but for some reason, I go right when we go underwater. So here is the, get some breath in your lungs. So you go down here, go left here, do not go right. I don't know why I did this. I was like, Nah, that's wrong. Go under the desk, and once you're under the desk, you go right. And then if you swim straight forward, it should be where the oxygen is. There you go. Be careful too, because your oxygen's not the biggest. Then climb on this crate, smash this wall, and you're in the pre-chamber to the safe. To my right is the entrance from the kitchen cellar. And then when you open this, be very careful, because there's a single Clockwork soldier here. But if you trigger the cutscene that's needed by touching the artifact in the middle, it will completely get rid of him, I think. So he's just you see him then? All you have to do is press this, and it will give you complete immunity for this fancy cutscene. And now, I think he short circuits, that's what that noise was. So, come up the stairs, open the other side of the safe, and then move out towards the water's edge and the waterfront, where we're going to get picked up by Megan. And once again, guys, there is a single Clockwork soldier waiting for you on the other side of this, but he's to the left. So if you blink past the gap and then go over the balcony, he should not see you, and you should be fine. But before you do this, you need to get rid of this power supply, because it's very easy to get instantly murdered by those machines that just zap you for being too close. So there is the soldier just there. Climb up, blink, and then you're free to run. And that's the end of the level, guys. How beautiful was that level? Everything flowing, everything working. Vantage points on top of vantage points on top of vantage points. Such a great one. I had a lot of fun doing that. Ironically too, that is one of the missions I didn't stream, because I needed a bit of a break from the game. I was a little defeated. Got some food in me, relaxed, came back, and then had a really smooth level, and then the next level was really smooth too, because the last two, believe it or not, are pretty simple. There's really good opportunities to do super fun stuff, a lot of blink opportunities, a lot of unconventional paths, and we're moving on to the finale, guys, so thank you very much for watching. I will hold out just a second here until we get the results page, just so I can double check, because they should all say the same thing if you're successful. And if you're using this walkthrough, you should be successful. So, there's the stats, guys. Everything's 0, 2 ticks. That's the end of the Grand Palace. Thank you for watching. You take care now.